Dennis Bow. I'm just hanging out, playing my fiddle. Hopefully people enjoy listening. If anybody feels like talking, I will talk to you. That was the Parting Glass. It's a classic old parting song. And I think I might play a little swallowtail jig next. Screwed that up. All right, trying again. Messing around in a gypsy key. Which songs do I know? I know Drunken Sailor. I know House of the Rising Sun. I know the Swallowtail Jig. I know the Parting Glass. I kind of know Tam Lin, also known as the Glasgow Reel. And I know Mary Had a Little Lamb. And yeah, that's the songs I know. Mostly I just kind of jam. I'll jam in the gypsy key like I was just doing. I'll jam in a pentatonic key, or I'll just jam in, like D major or C major or something. Or I guess usually D Dorian, because D's and G's are easier than C's and whatnot. But yep, that's what I know. I think I'm gonna mess around a little more. I might play some Drunken Sailor, I think. And let's try some House of the Rising Sun. Hey there, Butterfly Leah. Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm happy that you're in here. I hope you're enjoying the music. Cartman, if that's what you're into, then, I ain't gonna judge you. Only Mirko, you want to teach me? You can try. I do not golf. I'll frisbee golf sometimes, but I'm not going to invest in all the nonsense that's required for golfing. I mean, not to bash anybody who that's what they want to get into. I just don't really have the funds or the time for it. But, nope. I just play fiddle and do all kinds of goofy stuff. I'll accept any pronouns. I like when people choose what pronouns to use for me. As you can probably tell by looking at me, I'm kind of used to he him. That's what people tend to use, but I'm not going to complain about any pronouns, and so I like to see what people choose to use for me. I recently realized that my gender is not real, as in I am not a real man, nor am I a real woman, or a real NB, or a real anything else. Well, thank you, Addie. My favorite song to do, it just depends on what I'm in the mood for. I'm definitely a big fan of Parting Glass. It always feels like that one comes together properly. But I can't really jam in it, whereas I can kind of jam on like Drunken Sailor and House of the Rising Sun. So those ones, sometimes they feel better because I can get a little jammier. I think my favorite thing is just to jam around. I really like jamming in the gypsy key. It comes out like, well, D gypsy major is specifically the key I jam in, but it comes out like really kind of sorrowful and sad. And I've been going through, I don't know, some rough shit of late, and so it's nice to be able to just make these really sad sounds with my fiddle. Cellos are awesome. I don't have the money for a cello, and I don't have the like room for one. I would, they're not very portable. But yeah, they're really cool. I would love to get a hold of a cello and play with it sometime. Absolutely, we love it over here. Let's see. I will play for you. I'll play for you the Parting Glass because that's the one that I'm my best at. Play it on YouTube? No, I'm not gonna play one for you on YouTube. I'm gonna play one for you on the fiddle. Yeah, cello is expensive, and it's just big. It's, kind of a hassle to move around or take anywhere. Hey there, Teach. Good to see ya. Hot cross buns. Do I know hot cross buns? I know a little bit of hot cross buns, not all of it, but I like playing hot cross buns in a gypsy key. Let's see if I can remember how to do that. Or let's see, Mary Had a Little Lamb. I butchered Mary Had a Little Lamb, but that's all right. Kind of the point. Make some lamb chops out of her. Have a good night, Stefan. I'm glad that you were here. Glad you enjoyed it. Hi, Marcus. Thank you for the smiles. Hope everybody's having a decent night. I had to go deal with the legal system today, but it was routine. Meanwhile, the transit system was a nightmare because it just wasn't, I don't know, wasn't working right. Didn't get me where I needed to go, but got me there eventually. So, let's see. I think I might just keep messing around the gypsy key, see if I can make it make the right noises. Hey there, Ashton. Glad to see you here. Aw, Sam Bemo sent me presents. Thank you, Sam. That was awfully nice of you. Hello there, one and only Reaper. I hope you are enjoying the show. I'm just kind of jamming around on my fiddle, but a couple of my friends are here, so that makes me happy. Hope you guys are doing well. I don't know, if you got anything exciting going on, but I'm just making music. I'm gonna keep doing that. I think I might play around in the pentatonic a little. Maybe it'll get a little bit happier than the gypsy key for a minute. Thank you for the taps, you guys, making me feel loved, and I appreciate that. I've had kind of a rough day dealing with systems, and so it's nice to be playing magic and playing music and hanging out with my friends, even if I'm not saying all that much because, I'm too busy making noise. But looks like you guys are having a good time, so that's good. Let's see. What I'm going to try to do now. Biting! Yay, biting. Hello, Jacob Garcia. Hope you're enjoying the vibes. I'm just playing some music, and if you enjoy the music, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't know, kind of vibing with my fiddle, feeling pretty good about it all, honestly. Nice to be home, and my stepdad's over in the other room. I think he's listening to music. He might be playing his piano. I can't really hear it anymore, but he was listening to music. It was good music. Now I think he might be listening to me fiddle, and hopefully he's enjoying that just as much. Banshees of Inisherin. That sounds Celtic and interesting. See, Immortal Beloved. I've seen them pop into my lives a few times. I know that they're an interesting person, and I can't remember exactly why. I think the last Celtic movie that I can distinctly remember watching was The Waking of Ned Devine, which is kind of a great movie about Scotland. It's about this guy that wins the lottery and dies, and so the entire town pretends that he hasn't died so that they can have his lottery money. But yeah, I have access to Netflix currently. I used to have access to more things than that, but I don't anymore. And I don't know, I might again in the future once I am able to communicate with the person who provided me with access to them in the past. But I don't really watch Netflix though. I mostly just watch TikTok, play Magic, go hang out with people in real life. Yeah, so I remember watching the movie The Doors, which is based on stuff that actually happened, and then learning how much, how profoundly the keyboardist hated the movie. And it was a fun movie, and it made him look good. It made it clear that he was the active musician of the group. That Jim Morrison was the rock star, but he was the actual musician. But he still hated it, and I imagine most people probably do because accounts of things are never right. I've noticed whenever I've been around or involved with something and then it ends up in the newspaper later, it's just like, no, they got it wrong. That's not right. And with a movie, it's, becomes that much more so because they get the freedom and almost the requirement to make it more dramatic. And so there's, you end up with these movies that they're based on interesting stories and they're definitely fun to watch. But I imagine they're usually infuriating for the people who are actually involved in the stories that they end up dramatizing. Yeah, it is definitely a shame when they don't get consent from the folks that the movies are about. Like the Doors, they did. The keyboardist was involved with some of the creation of it, despite him being incredibly frustrated about it all. But yeah, it's definitely a shame when they dramatize somebody's story and get it wrong and don't get consent. Actually, my friend who I am going to go get a massage from tomorrow had one of her stories made into a freaking newspaper article that got things wrong and painted her as a horrible racist and just made a giant mess of things. And then it got reprinted in the local paper, and they didn't even contact her to confirm things. So, yeah, storytellers, they tell stories. Sometimes they do a good job, and sometimes they do a terrible, terrible job and mess people's lives up. But all right, it's starting to get kind of late. My mom is probably going to be back from her band practice pretty soon, so I'll put my fiddle away and just engage in conversation if you guys are still feeling like doing that. So I'll be quiet for a sec while I put shit away. Yeah, so I don't know. I've had a weird day. I went off island and took care of stuff, and then I came home and I had a card waiting for me. And I opened up the card, and it was a Valentine's Day card asking me to be somebody's Valentine. And I don't know exactly who it was. And yeah, it had a present in it that I'm not going to mention because it's the kind of thing that, you don't want to mention in places that are recorded. And yeah, that's weird. I mean, I think I probably have a good idea of who it's from, and it's not shocking, but it's weird and interesting, and I was like, huh, how do I deal with that kind of things? But I think there is a way to use TikTok on your laptop. I know that there are people that do lives from laptops, but I'm not sure exactly how you watch TikTok from a laptop, though. But I think that it's possible. I mean, presents are always positive. It's just a weird thing to have show up in the mail without any name on it and just be like, huh. And I mean, it's like it's a Valentine's Day thing, and it's definitely not Valentine's Day yet. But I don't know. It's from the kind of person who I could see doing that kind of thing. So I'm not like I'm not shocked. I'm pretty sure I know who sent it. And I might check with her to find out. She's Um, I don't know. She's been like mildly obsessed with me for quite some time, and part of me is totally into that because I like people being obsessed with me, and part of me is like, yeah, no, she's completely, completely bonkers and dangerous to me because of that, and I don't know, just kind of dealing with those kind of thoughts, like, yay, somebody's into me. Oh, somebody completely bonkers, and completely bonkers is kind of my type, but I maybe should learn that that's not the best idea in the world. No, no, not a dog sticky present or anything like that. No, no, a nice present, just the kind of present that you don't want to talk about somewhere where it's being recorded. So, you guys been up to anything exciting or interesting or unusual? I've got 5 people in here now. I know that one of them is Teach and one of them is Ashton, and I don't know who the other ones are, but if you feel like saying hi, I would say hi to you. I'd love to make some new friends. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything in particular that I have to talk about, but not really. I don't know. Tomorrow should be a good day. I am going over to go visit my friend because I owe her a tarot card reading and she's going to give me a massage. She very kindly offered me weekly massages. I had a bike accident several years ago now, but it messed up my spine and whatnot a little bit. Like nothing too serious, but enough that I've got like real mild chronic pain. And she's offered to give me weekly massages to try to help work that out, and I'm super grateful. Yeah, yeah, I'm definitely psyched about it. It's very, very generous of her. Like last week she gave me a 2-hour massage, and I felt really good afterwards, and it felt really good while it was happening, and it was just like, wow, this is incredible. And I had agreed to trade her a tarot card reading for the massage, but then the massage went long enough that I was going to miss the ferry boat and I had to head home, so I still owe her a tarot card reading. I think I might have another gift for her for tomorrow that I'm going to bring over too. But yeah, it was so kind of her. She's someone that's been through a lot. When we were young, she was into drugs in ways that were not good for her, and just got herself into all kinds of trouble. And I mean, like she's always been a very open-minded, very accepting person. She was back then too, but she was getting herself in trouble, and then she kind of got out of that, and now she's got 4 kids, and she went through a marriage and a real crappy divorce, and I had kind of lost touch with her, but we reconnected a bit. Um, a few years ago, it was really good to see that she'd pulled her life together, and she has. She's like genuinely doing good things, and like taking care of herself and her kids, but she's also still got all kinds of crazy shit that happens to her. Um, and it's nice to talk to somebody else who's going through crazy shit and have them be willing to like share the craziness, so I can see that I'm not the only one whose life is kind of turned upside down and messy. But yeah, she went, oh, hey, Kari, nice to see you. Welcome to my live. I was fiddling, but I'm done with the fiddle. I'm just kind of hanging out and talking. But yeah, she went through. So I live on. Well, I grew up on an island up in the San Juan Islands, little island. That's where I am again. And she's from here as well. One of the neighboring islands is very small, and is mostly vacation homes. There's a few people that actually live there. One of the people that lives there murdered his wife, and he had apparently stalked my friend when she was in college, and he called her on the phone while his poor dead wife was laying in his car, and she didn't know that that was what was going on, and she was just like, creepy stalker calling me. But then later, after he got arrested, she found out that that was what was going on when he called her. So I don't know, she's had weird shit running through her life. It's good to see you, Kari. I enjoyed talking with you the other night. It was nice, like, I don't know, nice to have a conversation with somebody. Good to hear, about the stuff you've been through. And yep, now I have got 3 of my friends. That is all the people in the chat, is my little crew of people. It's good to see everybody. We're just missing Ryan. I don't know. They haven't been coming online anywhere near as much. They haven't been coming on lives. I think they finished that script, and so they didn't have the same like motivation. But I don't know. I missed them. It'd be nice to see them more. But I'm glad to see you folks very much. I'm glad that you always pop into my lives and listen to me fiddle and talk to me and stuff. It's definitely appreciated. I kind of feel like it gives me a sense of community. And I mean, like I'm on a little island full of people that know me. I definitely have community, but there's something really nice about being able to be like sitting on my bed in my room at home interacting with community and not have to deal with like getting out and sorting out schedules and all that crap that always comes with actually hanging out with people face to face. Let's see. Maybe I really like our little TikTok gang. Maybe I will tell a story. Last time I told The Princess and the Pirate, and this time I think I will tell the one that is my mom's favorite. Now, this is not a story that I wrote. This story is a Coast Salish folktale, and it is called The Ant and the Bear. So, long, long ago, when all of the people were animals and all of the animals were people, the sun would come out whenever he felt like it. And sometimes he would come out for a very long time, and people would get all kinds of things done. And sometimes he'd be gone for a very long time, and people would sleep for a really long time. Sometimes he came out for only a little while, and people got barely anything done. And sometimes he was only gone for a very brief amount of time, and everybody's naps were just tiny and short. Well, all the animals, all the people, they all got together and they said, hey, we should go to the sun and see if he will come out for about the same amount of time every day, and if he will go to sleep for about the same amount of time every night. So they did, and they all got together and they went to the sun and they said, could you please set yourself a schedule so you're coming out about the same time every day and going back to bed about the same time every night? And the sun said, sure, I can do that for you. How long would you like me to come out? Well, all the animals, they all started arguing with each other and talking about whether they wanted the days to be long or the days to be short, and how long and how short. And there were two that were the noisiest of all the animals, and those were the ant and the bear. Now, the ant, she wasn't very big, and she liked to get things done and then rest, and get things done and then rest. So she wanted a day and a night, and a day and a night. The bear, he was very big. He was a great big bear, and he liked to sleep for a very long time. So he wanted a long, long night, which meant there would also be a long, long day. Well, they convinced the other animals one way or the other until there was two big groups of animals arguing about whether or not the days should be long or short. And the sun said, I know how we will settle this. We will have a dance contest. Whichever one of you can dance the longest, that is the one who will decide whether the days and the nights are long or short. So the ant and the bear, they set to dancing. And the ant, she danced a little ant dance, and she went, day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. The bear, he danced a big bear dance, and was slower, but it was much bigger. It was like a long day and a long night. Long day and a long night. Well, they danced and they danced for hours and hours and hours and hours. They started to get tired, but the ant, she had on a belt, and she just tightened up her belt, and she tightened it up, tight, tight. And she danced day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. Well, the bear, he started to get tired, and he started to dance slower. He went a long day and a long night, a long day and a long night. Well, they danced and they danced and they danced for what would be days and nights now, and they started to get very tired. But the ant, she just tightened her belt up even more. Tighten, 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 tighten. She went day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night, with a tight little belt tightened up on her waist so that it hurt and it kept her awake. And the bear, he started stumbling around a little, getting tired, and he went a long day and a long night. Kept tightening her belt up. She tightened her belt up as tight as she possibly could. She danced and she danced. Oh, and I seem to have lost connection. All right. I don't know if anybody can see me. It looks like maybe people can, but let me know if you can see me, because it looks like I lost connection for a minute at least. I'm going to wait until somebody lets me know they can hear me before I keep talking, before I keep telling my story. Okay, good. All right. So it had been weeks that they had been dancing, and the ant, she tightened her belt up even tighter, and she danced and she danced. Day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. And the bear, he danced slower and slower. A long day and a long... Oh, oh. And the bear just fell completely and absolutely sound asleep. And so, now we have relatively short days and nights. And the ant, she tightened her belt up so tight that she couldn't get it off. And now if you look at an ant, they have a teeny tiny waist that is barely there because the belt got so tight. All right, that was the ant and the bear story. I think I might get off of here pretty soon because it seems like my connection is starting to get wonky. But I appreciate all you folks listening to my fiddle and hanging out with me and talking to me. Hope that you all have an excellent night. Yeah, the bear hibernates. The bear just pretends that there are still long days and long nights and just sleeps all through the whole winter, whether anybody likes it or not. Yeah, I've been telling stories, most of my life. My mom is a storyteller as well, although she reads her stories, whereas I just remember them and tell them. But yeah, I've been telling stories my whole life. I told them to my kid when they were little, and then it was usually bedtime stories, and so then I had to be less animated because having to put the kid to sleep. But I definitely like to get some movement into it, get some some facial expressions and whatnot. I figure that makes the story more fun to watch. Makes the story more fun to listen to if there's more going on with it. I don't know, how well I was able to move the phone with things, but it felt like it was working. And watch these random people coming into the live, and I don't know, it's just funny. It's just like this little train of names, and then they go away, and sometimes one of them sticks around for a while. I don't know. Yeah, you're over on the East Coast, Kari. It's much later for you than it is for me. I'm not going to be going to sleep yet. I don't know. Might get off of here just because the connection was being bad, but it seems to be doing better now. Hi, Trinita. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. I was playing fiddle, but not playing fiddle anymore. Now I'm just hanging out and talking to people. Yeah, you crazy East Coast people. I don't know. I used to be on East Coast time. I lived in Ohio for 15 years, but I'm glad to be back on the West Coast. I did not like the weather over there, and I didn't like the culture as well. I don't know. The East Coast proper might not be so bad, but Ohio culture is not the kind of culture that I enjoy, not at all. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've played with a lot of guitarists. I haven't played fiddle with a lot of guitarists. I've played drums with a lot of guitarists, but guitar is, it's a fun instrument. It's kind of neat that it has frets, and so you can figure out where the notes are and play the chords and all that. Yeah, the part of Ohio I was in was sort of the middle, and it was definitely high because it was, the Appalachians, so there was a lot of hills. And it was also high, as in everybody in the damn town was, well, not everybody, but a lot of the people in the damn town were on heroin because it was that kind of town, dying factory town that was falling apart, where people were coming back from Afghanistan and bringing opiates with them. But, I don't know. Ohio's weird. I don't know. Ohio's normal, I guess, but I have never been to Nebraska. I have not been all that many places. I've been up and down the West Coast. I've been to Alaska. I've been to Hawaii, and I've been to Ohio. And I've been out of Ohio a little bit. We went down to West Virginia and Virginia, but I have never been to Nebraska. I haven't spent much time in any part of the country other than Washington, really. Washington's been where I've spent most of my life. Well, and 15 years in Ohio, so I guess that definitely counts. But are you from Nebraska, Trinita? What do you think of it? Do you like it there? Kari is from Florida. I've never been to Florida, and I'm a little bit frightened of it. I think just because it's in the news so much for people being crazy. Like, I don't think Florida is actually as scary as Texas is. But so, what makes you want to go to Nebraska, Trinita? What? Oh, like, I'm not familiar with Nebraska at all. I'm sure there's something awesome about it that totally makes it worth visiting, but I don't know what that is. I've been to Montana. I enjoyed that. I went camping over there. Yeah, Florida. The thing that I've been hearing about Florida is that the rate of pay there is kind of like the Midwest, and meanwhile, the cost of living there is more like the coast. And that has to be really rough. If, they're just not paying people enough to survive on. I guess that kind of thing probably is partly based on the fact that so many folks are retired, and so they want to pay not so much for labor. But I don't know. Nebraska is not a city. Nebraska is a state. I think Omaha is the city in Nebraska, the main city. I don't know. I don't know Nebraska. I do know that it's a state though, and not a city. What's that do? Oh. Pushing buttons. Yeah, I don't like that button. That's a boring button. Push some more buttons. Maybe put a filter on my face or something. Huh. That's random. Yeah, I figure Florida, like, I'm surprised that they're able to keep labor. I guess it's not like it's not easy to go somewhere else because it's all in the middle of the freaking South and everybody doesn't want to pay enough. But yeah, it's weird to me that people aren't just streaming out of Florida as far as laborers go because, you can't stick around if rent costs more than you're able to actually make. And what was you when an individual tried to teach you a video game? Teach? Just complete unfamiliarity with it and wondering what they were talking about. Higher education. Yeah, I mean, education in general it's difficult, like there's advantages, but it's also like terribly, terribly underfunded and overworked, and I don't know, so much of a mess. Oh yeah, pressing random buttons like I was working on. I found that works for some video games, like fighting video games. I can usually just jam on buttons and, actually have fun, but it's got to be the right kind of game. Mortal Kombat, I can jam on some buttons and sometimes I'll even win, you know. It actually works sometimes. Yeah, well, and I think Kari that I mean that's a function of it being Florida too. Like I know that here the medical coverage for folks in education absolutely covers gender affirming care, but for that matter, so does freaking welfare insurance here. My my wife's ex is a trans woman who was getting her transition entirely paid for by the state because she was poor. But all right. Well, it was a pleasure seeing you, Kari. I hope you sleep well. I imagine you got to get up in the morning and teach some people some stuff. So I hope that goes well for you. Um, and that leaves me with pretty much just teach in here. So I think I am gonna get off of here as well. But yeah, it was good seeing everybody. It was nice to have some people to play fiddle for. It was good to have some conversations. So I will see you later.